In this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly how I've been able to actually make this my career. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shalay and I'm a spiritual entrepreneur who has dedicated their entire life to living one that is intuitively led, and I basically document that process here on YouTube. Hi. Whose idea was it to have an intro that long? I'm really excited for this video because in this video I'm going to walk you through how I changed my life completely, because prior to what my life looks like now, I was extremely depressed, I was riddled with anxiety, and I was pursuing a career that was not in alignment with what I actually wanted. I went down the route of what I should do. I went to university, I got the standard job, and I forced myself to stay there for years trying to make it work. But the more and more the years went on, the worse I was getting mentally, because I wasn't actually doing something that was like lighting up my fucking soul. You know what I mean? It's like I was going against the things that I really wanted to do. I wanted an unconventional career. I wanted something that would allow me freedom, something that I actually fucking enjoyed, something that actually makes me feel like I'm doing something good for the world, you know? That is what my soul was screaming for, and at the time I had no idea that this is what it was going to look like. Not in a million years did I think that I would be here doing what I'm doing today, but I really chose to trust myself. So if that is you, if that's how you feel and you're like, I'm fucking done with this, like my soul's calling for something more, something that I'm passionate about, then this video is for you, because in this video I'm going to be telling you exactly how I changed the course of my life and how I've been able to actually make this my career. So one of the most important changes I made in my life in order to make this my reality was seeing myself as the problem and the solution. A lot of people can get triggered by that. I was triggered as well. When I was in the lowest place mentally, I was so depressed. I'd experienced so many hardships. So when I first heard this concept of if your life doesn't look the way you want it to, it's because of you, I really fought against that. It made me so angry. I was like, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know the cards that I've been dealt. But I continued to listen. I continued to hear out what these people were saying. And while it was like boiling my blood and I was wanting to like rip through the screen and just scream at them and tell them my story and tell them what I've been through, I continued to listen. And eventually I started to see myself as the potential problem in my reality. And with that, I could see myself as the solution. So firstly, before I could actually change what was happening in my outer reality, I understood that I needed to start making internal shifts. I needed to change my perspective. I needed to change my mentality. So for about a year, I would say I prioritized getting back to my truth. I prioritized breath work, meditation, things to neutralize my nervous system, to get to know myself better. I prioritized practicing gratitude every single day, monitoring the shit out of my mind and where it went and why it thought the things that it did, and then shifting it to suit me and the life that I actually wanted to call in. So this is the most important place to start. With that being said, I'm gonna do some work. This is like my favorite time of day, where it's the morning, I have my coffee, and I'm gonna like crack into doing some behind the scenes work. It's 1 o'clock and I don't know where the day went. I am starving. I cannot even believe it. It was like I was in an energy vortex. I just had no idea what was actually going on. And then I look at my phone and I'm like, holy shit, it's 1 o'clock and I've realized I'm fucking starving. So I'm gonna start making my lunch and I thought, you know what, while I'm here, let's chat. I'm gonna snack on some pickled onions and some pickles while I make my food. I made this myself. How cute. This is the first taste test I'm doing of these pickled onions. No, I don't feel like I made that right. Being serious now though, a really important skill I had to develop in order to transition from my regular job to doing this instead, I had to develop the fear. Just like whacking this knife around. I had to develop the skill of feeling the fear of going after what I wanted, of putting myself out there and doing it anyway. The reason why I ended up in a career and on a path that was not aligned to me was because I was scared. I was scared about failure. I was scared about what other people would think. I was scared about losing the people in my life because at the time I was having a spiritual awakening and I was surrounded by people who were like atheists. So there was so much fear around my desires, right? The things I wanted most in the world. I tried so hard to work through all of the fear that I had before I took my first steps. And this really slowed a lot of my progress down, a lot of my journey down. Like I believe I could have moved a lot faster had I just felt the fear and did it anyway. If you're in that spot now where you're like waiting to deal with the fear and the anxiety and all of that shit that's coming up, I promise you it will never ever leave until you prove that fear wrong, until you prove that you can hold yourself, until you prove that you can do it. Sure, we can do things to like regulate our nervous system like breath work and things like that and meditate, but ultimately the only thing that gets rid of fear is actually doing the thing that scares you the most. Another thing that happens as well when you actually start stepping into fear, yes, you're shitting your pants, but as soon as you step into fear, it's this sense of like freedom, like nothing can hold you back. And then it becomes addictive. That fear is no longer holding you back and you just feel this like sense of power. Recently, I've been stopping work around like 2 p.m. in the afternoon and then spending the rest of the day like for me. A really, really big manifestation of mine was like time freedom. And I realized that when I first like started to go full time in this work, I basically created like the 9-to-5 system in what I was doing myself. So I felt just as trapped in my business than I did a regular 9-to-5. So I've really been like changing that behavior. And honestly, like I have received so much more actually doing that instead, being really intentional and productive in the morning and then like chilling for the rest of the afternoon and just like feeding my soul with the other things that I want to do with like the time freedom that I called in for myself. It's like, okay, let me actually fucking utilize this time, right? But the final thing I wanted to talk about in regards to actually making this change to my life and making this my career is the fact that I have stayed committed. When you are trying to create a different experience for yourself, and if you're here, then you understand the energetic world, right? You understand how our beliefs create a reality. So with that comes a lot of reprogramming work, a lot of no, we're not believing that now, we're choosing to believe this. It's like, if this belief limits me, this doesn't help me, how can I choose something that does help me, that does lead me towards my desires, right? And this just fucking takes commitment. It takes dedication. It takes failing and then getting back up again, failing and not letting it mean anything about you, setting manifestations and then not coming to fruition, putting out launches and things like that that go to fucking shit, but you still show up. You still hold the energy. It's really going to require you to like be the one that backs yourself up, like we've been talking about throughout this video, right? I feel like Tony Robbins has a quote around this. If I can find it, I'll put it here. But if you know who said this and you're like, okay, it was not Tony Robbins, then let me know in the comments below. But what he said was, a lot of people quit right before they're about to get their manifestation. And I see this so much in the manifestation community, in the spiritual community. Like, people are holding the energy, they're holding the energy, they're holding the energy. But then as soon as like their reality, their outside reality doesn't look the way that they want, they let go of it like that. They don't let the energy build and build and build and build. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, if you want to see more, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you get updated every single time that I upload new videos. Also, I would love to hear from you in the comment section below, especially if you have any video recommendations, things that you want to see from me, videos that you want me to make. Let me know in the comments below. This video idea was actually inspired by somebody who left a comment on one of my past videos, so I deeply appreciate it. I'm sending you love and I will see you in the next one.